Hey, it's great to have you guys back for another week of Dangerous Prayers life groups, and I want to say a big thank you to those of you that are hosting. Also, it's really cool to see so many of you posting videos about the book, how it's impacting your life, and that actually exposes the content to other people. So very personally, thank you for talking about the message, and more so, thank you for praying dangerous prayers. Guess what? Of the 4 new ones, this is probably, for most people, the most difficult one. We're talking about break my heart, oh God. We're looking at Jeremiah. We're looking at other people in the Bible that had a real burden. And so it may get a little bit heavy in this discussion, and that's actually a good thing. And I pray it moves people to action, which is even a better thing. So let's start it off kind of light. And what I'd love to do is have you talk about kind of your pet peeves. This isn't necessarily the big broken heart burden, but just for fun, let's talk about something that's rather small, maybe even insignificant, that bothers you, gets on your nerves. Now, if it's a person sitting next to you, let's be really polite. This is life group. We're going to show love. But let's just talk about what gets on your nerves. What's annoying to you? For me, there's lots of different things. If anyone ever tells me to chill out, that's a really big mistake. Don't do that as a joke. Don't test me. The middle finger, evidently, maybe when I was a child, I was abused with middle fingers and it's just blocked in my mind. That's something that's not ever a good thing to test with me. And then quite honestly, just like slow moving people during work hours, like, do you not have something to do? Kind of makes me crazy. La da 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 da. Am I paying you? Get back to work. Those are some things that annoy me. So just for fun, and I promise you we'll get even way more serious in a few moments, but what are some insignificant things that often annoy you? We are talking about dangerous prayers, and there would be few prayers more dangerous than actually asking God to break your heart. This goes against everything that we're programmed by culture. Culture tells us that life should be easy, you deserve better, let's pursue comfort. Why in the world would we ever ask God to break our heart? Well, I want to read to you a bit from my notes. We covered this partially in the weekend message, and then I'm going to ask you your second question. What if God breaks your heart for what breaks his? What if God blesses you with what some have called a holy hurt, or you're blessed with a burden? In my notes, I said this: comfort never once moved me to action. More luxury in life never shook me to care more about those who are suffering. A pain-free day never made me more like Christ. What does pain do? Pain purifies, suffering strengthens, and trials actually teach you to depend on God. What I'd like for you to do is just to think about this, and you can kind of unpack it and process it even out loud with those around you. But what is it that truly breaks your heart on behalf of God? You may look at this from one of 2 different sides. One might be like, what do you like righteously love? What is it that ignites you with passion and excitement when you see it happen? And then the opposite would be, what breaks your heart? What gives you this righteous anger? What makes you, almost on behalf of God, say, no, that's not right, not on my watch, not if I can't do anything about it? What is it that breaks your heart? What I found is a lot of times we'll kind of know what that is, but it's easier to push that pain aside and try to ignore it, or try to medicate it, or try to pretend like it's not there. What I want to do is just ask you to acknowledge it and to embrace it. What is it that breaks your heart on behalf of God? Let's go ahead and take a moment, think about it, talk it through. This could be the beginning of something very, very special. Your burden might lead to you being a blessing to others. What is it that breaks your heart on behalf of the heart of God? All right, well, question 3 is always where the rubber meets the road. This is where we try to bring application. And I want to remind you that one of the most important things you ever do when you gather together is seek God together in prayer. So make sure you leave time at the end of this question to pray. I know sometimes at our life group, we'll talk and talk and talk and talk and talk all the way up to the end, and then the prayer is like almost an afterthought. Don't do that. We're praying dangerous prayers. We've talked about the things that annoy you. That's kind of fun and lighthearted. Then we talked about something more significant. Where is it that on behalf of God, you ache along with the heart of God? Now what I want to do is remind you that Scripture says we don't just hear the word, we're doers of the word. We want to have faith in action. One of the reasons why you might be so bothered by something on behalf of God is because God has uniquely called and equipped you to do something about it. Let me be really, really clear. This doesn't mean that you have to start some nonprofit. You might, but you could join up with other people who are doing something similar to what's on your heart. What I want to encourage you to do is to take some step in the direction of that which breaks your heart. We've identified, very likely on question number 2, what it is that breaks your heart. Question number 3 is very, 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 very simple. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Don't step away from the pain. Step into it. Let it wreck you in the best sort of way so that you cannot do nothing. You have to do something. And again, you don't have to quit your job and go all in. You might. Some of you, God might lead you to do that. But I would encourage you to at least take one step in that direction. You know what it is now that breaks your heart on behalf of God. Question number 3, as you discussed before you pray, what are you going to do about it? I thank God in advance that through your hurt, God's going to use you to bring healing. Question number 3, what are you going to do about your hurt?